Okay, so I told myself that I was just going to film one video and I wasn't going to have to edit it because in order to edit your video, in the past I've used iMovie, but I actually ranted about this on Facebook like an obnoxious complaining person because I'm so irritated about it. I have to update my iPhone in order to download iMovie. And even if I was using iMovie, the act of trying to edit your video is very complicated, and I feel like you guys don't deserve that amount of work out of me. However, I started filming and then I heard the door slam and didn't want anyone to see me recording myself, and so I turned the video off. And so now I have the option of either just putting this video into YouTube or smashing all of my videos together and then with some sort of app which would require more time and then using that as my YouTube video. So I'm feeling a little salty right now. Maybe I will just keep this part. You really don't need to hear anything about what I was talking about the last 3 minutes. And starting off a video with a rant is always the best way to do things, honestly. I really feel like. So, with that being said, hello. You already know my name because if you clicked on this video, my name would have been in the profile. I guess introducing yourself with your name is like a way to build camaraderie with the people who are watching your videos. But I don't know, am I trying to build camaraderie with the people watching this video? I guess I am. Alright, hello, my name is Shuri. Welcome to my typing video. Here's an introduction that sounds like everybody else's. What I was starting to say in the previous video before I turned it off was that I had been trying to think of a way to convince people, or just like do something strategically at the very beginning of my video to get people to like stick around and keep watching it, because I do not watch people's typing videos all the way through. I just watch like the first 5 minutes and then comment about it, because that is all the time I need to get the full picture of somebody's personality. It's just 5 minutes, I'm good to go. No, I'm joking. That's not. I need more than 5 minutes. I just hate consuming new information. I told myself that I was not going to use OP terms in my typing videos because I think I understand everything perfectly fine, perfectly the right amount, but in case I don't want to be misusing the terms. I have explained this out before, but the way I see like the OP terminology as being helpful is the fact that using the coins as words to describe like certain personalities only works if everybody is on the same page definition wise. Because like I see especially people watching videos of other people and then commenting their types. Like a lot of times commenting the exact opposite, like they think the person's type is the exact opposite of what Dave and Shan actually type them as. And I think this is because, I mean, there's two reasons. Either they're seeing the same things that Dave and Shan are seeing and they're just putting a different definition to it. So like what you think is TE is actually FE or something. Or you could just not be seeing it at all. Because I think another thing that, I don't know if it's happening a lot or is just happening in general, but like, it kind of goes along with their most recent, your guys' most recent, if I'm talking to Dave and Shan with this video. Sorry, I'm talking about you guys in the third person. Like savior versus demon state. So like a lot of times the type that you would just like assume a person to be. It's actually like the exact opposite of what their real type is, because what their saviors are is the stuff that they're just like doing super easily without like taking any time. Well, I mean, maybe their savior is sleep, and so then they take time thinking and talking. I don't know. Sleep blast. If you have sleep blast, aren't you still able to communicate pretty effectively? Like you see like the blast last, like these are usually like OE gather saviors, right? And they're like blast last, and so they have trouble like blasting, I guess. And then like I see people on Facebook talking about the sleep consume or consume sleeps being mopey, and play blast being, they did a video about this, didn't they? I'm trying to remember what like the sleep blast pair is. Like there was like the mopey people, and then the like, was it Yippee Skippy? Was that the term? It's just so stupid. And then I can't remember like the other two animal pair combinations. Yeah, that's a video. I'm gonna have to go watch that later because I can't remember what it is. But anyways, so sleep blasters. So they're not mopey, but still like. But anyways, going back to what I was talking about. I think what I was going with is like when you're typing people, and you don't like, you're like, oh, this person looks like SEFI, and actually they're like TENI or something, or like the opposite, or like SE people thinking they're NI, or NI people thinking they're any people thinking they're NI. I don't know. It's like the stuff that people are doing naturally, easily. That's what I started with. People who are going through their stuff like naturally, easily. That's not the stuff that you pick up on when you're watching a typing video, or that's the stuff you should be picking up on. But I feel like maybe people aren't. All of that to say that somehow this had something to do with the fact that I don't like watching people's YouTube videos. Yes, because I was saying how I think that I don't have consume high. Yes, and then I started going on how I don't want to use OP terminology because I don't want to be mistakenly using terminology in a way that it doesn't actually exist. So, and before that, where I was going with before that was that I wanted to try and think of something to make people want to watch my video and be like motivated to keep watching it. And if I was like not a planner and just like in the moment kind of person, I would just come up with something right here on the spot. But the thing that I've kind of been like thinking in my head that would be so funny for somebody to say is really not me, and so I don't want to like use this joke and then have people not get the right impression of me, although I am a very funny person. I think I'm a funny person. I don't know. You tell me. Comment below. Okay. But it's been 9 minutes now. So with all of that preamble aside, I guess I should probably. Well, see, okay, and there's another thing. Here's another thing. Okay. So like that is part of the reason why I did not want to stick to the questions right away, because I think the preambling part, not the preambling, the ambling, without the pre, just the ambling along, rambling, oh my gosh, the rambling along. That's the important part when you're watching, like, when you're typing somebody. It's the stuff that they just, like, it's like the tangents. It says that on the website. It says the tangents. I was actually expecting to come into this video with a big long explanation for why I didn't want to answer the first question, which was, what does your typical day, week, month look like, or something like that. And my whole big thing was going to be that, like, I didn't want to have to answer that question because I felt like it didn't apply to me, because I don't really care about, like, the actual everyday details of my days. I care more about the, like, actual, like, the meaning behind my days. And so I was going to go onto this big long rant about how, like, answering that question was for, like, sensory saviors, which was then going to be, like, me whole stereotyping people, savior versus intuition, which, you know, really right now I'm just relying on my intuition savior as, like, an excuse for my weirdness. So I guess if I come out of this being typed as an SE savior, I will not be able to blame my personality for my weirdness. I'll just have to find something else to blame. Me, myself, I am the blame for my weirdness. And obviously, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, whatever. Anyways, blatant stereotyping aside, I was gonna come in with this big whole long rant about how I didn't want to have to do this, and I have been, like, thinking up in my head all of the exact reasons, the perfect exact reasons why I feel like I don't need to answer this question, because I don't want to have to tell you the everyday details of my day and life. I would rather communicate to you my thoughts and ideas. And then I go to click on the questions again, and what does it say on the website? It says, feel free not to answer every question. So there you go, folks. If you actually read the questions before thinking out all of your ideas about how you're going to refute the questions, you might realize you don't have to refute the questions at all, because they're not even required. So yeah, it's a wonderful moment of demon something. Not going to use terms to describe what I'm doing. I'm just going to say what I'm doing, and it will be obvious to people who know what they're doing what like where am I going with this? It will be obvious. The terms will be obvious for what I am doing if you know the proper definitions for the terms. Wow, okay. Alright, so yeah, so I was gonna rant about how I didn't want to answer that question. Which, on the one hand, I can see how answering that question could be helpful, because you're trying to get a baseline. So you're trying to see, like, what is the stuff that people are doing naturally, and then what is the stuff that they're spiking about. Which, again, the Save Your Demon video is a perfect example of that. So maybe, you know, you have a person and they can tell you the facts of their day very nicely and clearly, and that is easy for them. And then when you ask them something else, whatever the inverse of details is, I know what the inverse is, but I'm not going to say it. Try not to stereotype. I could already see the conversation playing out in my head. I start talking about how the inverse of sensory and details is big picture. And then what do we say? Everyone does everything, guys. You can do details, you can do big picture. You're special, you're special. Just kidding, nobody's special. Everyone is special and nobody is special. But I'm not going to do that. Because I can already see the complaints coming afterwards, after watching this. So, you can do details, you can do big pictures. Everyone can do everything. You can do little pictures. You can do the opposite of details. But I can see how that question is helpful. Like, it is a very strategic and well-picked question. I just don't want to answer it. And I had a whole bunch of reasons about why, which I've basically gone on for 15 minutes now without actually getting to a real question. So, but I don't need to do that anymore because I don't even have to answer that question if I want to. So, I kind of don't want to answer any of the questions, to be honest. Not like, I think the questions are helpful. I would just rather like talk out my own. I already have like a way that I see things going, sort of. The way it works is it's like, over the past month, I've been thinking out exactly how I want this typing video to go. Not the exact crystal clear details of it, but rather like the feeling you'll get from it, the conclusions you'll draw, the way that I will be, the aspect of myself that I will present, which will be accurate. This is actually what I'm like. All of that stuff. And so now, as I'm sitting here, instead of trying to like answer all of these questions, like specifically answer the specific question, instead it's like backing up thought-wise, coming back from like where I'm starting now as I'm zooming out, grabbing in the different pieces that I have been thinking about over the last couple weeks that I wanted to incorporate into this video, and as I'm noticing them, I then bring them and incorporate them into the video. Which, funnily enough, okay, I said I wasn't going to use OP terms, but that was a flexible rule. That wasn't a rule that was hard in stone, guys. So I didn't even say it was a rule, so I didn't even have to give that explanation, but whatever. I am not going to follow that rule. Okay, whatever. Because I just wanted to comment on like a part of my understanding of personality, objective personality, whatever. There's like so many different nuances and okay. But anyways, the thing that I was describing, like my thought process, like the backing up part of it, I used to think that that was extroverted intuition. I realize now it's not. I think I have an analogy that pretty well describes like the difference between the two. I don't know, people have been talking a whole lot on the Facebook group lately, so if you're watching this and you're from the Facebook group, you will know that I'm telling the truth. The difference between extroverted intuition and introverted intuition, and the differences between those, which I think is pretty important, because I thought I was extroverted intuition for the longest time. Watch, they'll be like, no, sorry, you're an introverted sensor. I know I'm not an introverted sensor. That's ridiculous. But the introverted intuition kind of, and I feel like on YouTube, one of the videos, the graphic, actually, there was a graphic for the difference between introverted intuition and extroverted intuition. And that graphic actually was kind of a visual representation of what I have now figured out on my own instead of just going and looking at the picture. Nice. Which is basically that the way I'm beginning to see it is forget what I used to think, but introverted intuition, it's like the point that you start at is important, because whatever point you start at, you're backing up from that part. I got part of this idea from a video that I saw of this one actor guy who was describing comedy, like the rules of comedy in his particular way, and was talking about backing up. However, I had actually thought about this before I saw that video. I'm not just copying this. This is my own actual thought. But anyways, it's like NI is yeah, okay, this is the way I've been thinking about it lately. NI is zooming out, NE is magnifying. Okay, so the way that this works is with introverted intuition, it's important the spot that you start from. So like for me, I'm starting from, I'm not trying to assume I have introverted intuition, okay? But that's totally what I'm doing. So, darn it. I really didn't want to do that. I feel like now I've played all my cards. I guess it's like because I've seen everybody else be the opposite of the type that they thought they were. Not everybody, but a fair amount of people. I'm like, if I tell them what I think my type is, that's probably not what I'm gonna be. I don't want to jinx it. So I have been trying not to do that. I don't think that, guys. I think that I am an FE lead. All I care about is loving on people and helping them. And I wear myself out for the tribe, you know, and I don't think I do that. That does not work. If I was an extroverted feeler, I would not say I was wearing myself out for the tribe. I would probably say something along the lines of, yeah, you know, I really care about my identity and who I am, and right, because like the thing that you focus on is the thing that you're doing. Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, because I'm gonna have to think about this some more. I'm gonna put that thought aside, go back to the comparing NE and NI, which is really important distinction for me. And so I'm going to talk about it in my typing video instead of answering questions, because that is the best way to do things, really, I think. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. I only do things the best way that should be done. Or if I did something and then come back to it later and realize that maybe there was a better way I could have done it, try to come up with a reason for why the way that I did something was a good way to do it. Oh my word. So chances are not a lot of people are still here at the 22, 14, 15 minute mark after watching the whole entirety of my video. But if you are, I still haven't told you the surprise thing that I was thinking about saying right at the beginning of my video to get people to want to watch it all the way through. I guess if you're here at this point, I could tell you what the joke was. It's not even a joke. I'm like building up all this anticipation to it. It was not even that. Like, there's nothing. This is so stupid. All my plans have been ruined. Nobody stayed around to watch me talk about myself. It's okay, it's fine. I'll be good. Anyways, going back to the NE, NI. Wait, let me pause for a minute. I'm just trying to figure out what the meaning is going to be that's going to be taken away from the fact that I started like doing fake crying about people not watching my video all the way through. I think we should take this as a fact that I am not very good at communicating with the tribe. Okay, no, see, I gotta stop. I told myself this was another thing I wasn't gonna do, which was try to psychoanalyze myself as I was talking about myself in the video about analyzing myself. Because, like, yes, I like to do that, but that probably isn't, the reason I was feeling like maybe I shouldn't do that is because I thought maybe that would be considered peacocking. I'm not sure. I really think that this is not me peacocking. I really think that, I mean, this is exactly how I am. Au naturel. Me peacocking would be me pretending that I don't plan and that I'm just go with the flow and don't care about rules or fixing things or progress or deeper understanding. Those are all things I do care about. I'm not sure. I I feel like maybe just like the greatest example consideration, maybe like there isn't really peacocking for me to do. You know, I have seen a lot of, okay, well, again, this is just me, whatever, blatantly talking about type and other people's types, in the context of it applying to me, so, you know, that's fine, or whatever, but, it's really not fine. I really, 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 really don't want to talk about myself under the guise of me somehow relating to a certain type, and then that not being the type that I am. Even though, at this point, it's like I feel like I really do understand it properly. I heard a door slam and I thought maybe it was somebody coming into our room. I tried to film this at a strategic time so that, I'm not using the word strategic on purpose. I just realized now that I've used it like 3 times. I just appreciate the word strategic because strategy is good. But I tried to film this at a time when like there wouldn't be people here so that I wouldn't have to like be seen videotaping myself. That just seems really no, not gonna go there. It just seems really like egotistical slash weird. I like talk to everybody about objective personality, and not everybody because I don't, but people, yeah, basically everybody, about objective personality and how they should check it out. Check out the Facebook group. You can talk with me on Facebook in real time. One of the like funniest things to do is to be sitting next to somebody, instead of having an actual conversation with them, you're having like a phone conversation with them, but you're sitting right next to them. I feel like that's like true friendship of the modern age. Except if I look here. Hi, you're fine. I'm currently videotaping myself for, you know, the objective personality thing that I'm always talking about.
No. Oh yeah, I do.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this video on Facebook. I haven't told you about this. Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I tried to pick a time to film myself talking about myself, which is a really,
That's an awkward.
it's just awkward in general.
Yes.
As a time when people were not gonna be here, and then I saw you come in, but
Hurry on.
I didn't want to stop the video, because if I stop the video, then I'm gonna have to
Explain.
exactly. Well, and then I'll have to like smush the videos together.
And you know what? I'll probably learn a lot more from watching you interact with me. than
Exactly. That
they
honestly, they. Yes.
Good people on Facebook.
You're right. Yes, that's right. Okay.
Carry on.
Bye, Rachel. I think somebody else did a typing video lately, and didn't their roommate walk in or something? And then I think everybody was talking about how, like, the way that they seemed with their roommate. No, the person was saying that the way that they were with their roommate. I'm not trying to name drop here. The way that they were with their roommate is not the way that they actually are, or something. So whether what my roommate Rachel said is true or not, that you guys will be able to get a better understanding of my personality or not, who knows? But I have talked about this group to everybody, which was the point of what I was trying to say earlier. And was talking about types and talking about the fact that I don't want to say, yeah, and this person, all these people who are of a certain type do this thing that I relate to, and which I think is so interesting because I am the same, you know, but I don't know. But also, it would be inaccurate to say that I don't think I understand very well the differences in the types. I just have a morbid fear of being wrong, which is why a lot of times I will just argue that I am right, and even when I don't have all of the information. Okay. This is like, I'm at a crossroads here. Because, demon sensory friends. I feel like at this point, we probably would be able to confirm that. Sensory. Oh, and I haven't even told you what my phone is sitting. It has been half an hour of me blabbering about literally nothing. I think I should give like little 5-minute updates. Like, if you have been here for 5 minutes, thank you. You get no physical prize, but here is a virtual representation of my appreciation. There you go. Don't you feel loved now? I talked about this in the other video that I complained about right at the beginning of this video, about how I had started a video for myself and then had ended it because I thought somebody was coming in. And then look, there you go, somebody came into this video anyways. So look how much I've grown as a person, and am less embarrassed about the things I do in my own time. That could be construed a lot of different ways. Don't construe that lots of different ways. Take that as the innocent statement as which it seems. Okay, anyways, I still have not mentioned that my the stand that I have my phone sitting on top of it works perfectly fine. So there's no reason why I shouldn't use a box of grapes, a container of oatmeal, and a little bottle of honey to put my phone on. That is totally what everybody uses as a stand to prop their phone up. I don't know. That would be something I would be interested to know. What do people put their phones on? Or I guess not everybody is using their phone, right? Some people are using stop it, sunshine. People are using cameras too, right? Like really people who really research stuff a lot. I don't. So 8 minutes ago or so, I was trying to talk about the difference between NE and NI. And then I got derailed. Not off topic, just further clarification that I do still feel, I'm not being facetious, I wouldn't say it if I didn't feel like it was essential that you understand this part before I come back to the main part, which is again a perfect example of what I think, I'm pretty sure this is accurate, what I think introverted intuition is, which is zooming out. And that's why it's so important what thought you start from. Because if I start with the topic, very small topic, Shree's typing video to Dave and Shan that she will also share on Facebook for people to watch and possibly make fun of her. And probably not finish all the way through either, because it will be so entirely boring. / just watching videos of people without getting paid to do it. Like, none of us really want to do that, do we? No. Start with that topic, and then zooming out, you begin, there's the other parts that kind of come into it. But I'm just on this one topic. I'm not suddenly jumping to I can't even do this. What I think any is. I don't. I can hear someone moving around out there, and I don't want to be talking really loud. My roommate is still out there. I don't want to be talking. Well, she can hear me. Okay. Maybe now it's time for me to tell you a joke or something to get you to stay on this video. Man, I'm making fun of the fact that I'm going to be FESI or SEFI or something like that. I totally am. That's the worst part, is me thinking that I finally reached this deep understanding of personality type and then realizing that all of that understanding was false. But at the same time, like, the type that I think I am is not the type I want to be. Like, I don't know. The amount of jokes that I've made making fun of, like, INTJs is not even funny. Like, I distinctly remember taking the personality test when I was 14 and getting ENTJ, and I was like, yes, this is me. I'm an ENTJ. I make plans, get them done. I am a well-accomplished, dedicated person. You know, sometimes I stomp on people, but that's okay because I'm getting the stuff done that I want to get done. And then, I like started doing like more like research into it, one topic, and I was like, oh no, there's no way. I'm absolutely not TE. Well, actually, you know what's funny? The type that I ended up switching to, that I like have thought that I was until I found OP again. Found Dave's superpowers again and realized that he had turned into objective personality. This was like over the spring, so a couple months ago. Which was that I thought that I was an ENFP, which if you think about it is FI and TE, so same decider axis. But I thought that I was NE for sure. And I do remember too, like going on all the forums and like making fun of all the people who thought that they were INTJ and INFJ, because like, wow, you guys are so dumb, just being like everybody else. Probably some ISFJ thinking you're an INTJ, just like everybody else. What a sheep. Not me. I'm cool. I'm special. I don't follow the crowd, the introverted intuition crowd. Those introverted intuition people, they are so dumb and obnoxious. I'm not dumb and obnoxious. I'm a very kind, loving, playful, fun-spirited person. If I'm a My Little Pony character, I'm like Pinkie Pie, fun, ENFP is what I thought I was. It would be funny if I got this back and it was like, you are an ENFP. I would be an ENFP like everybody else, so I guess, you know. And then again, everything that I thought I'd known, that I thought that I figured out, the nuances and such forth, would all be wrong. But the whole point is you're supposed to be kicking your stereotypes to the curb. I feel like I have been doing that with myself. I mean, it is very painful for me, as I say it completely calmly and with no energy spikes whatsoever. It is very painful for me to admit when my plans go wrong. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not painful for me to admit that. I don't know. Okay, no, it is definitely stressful. I definitely am feeling very stressed out now, thinking about the fact that maybe this video isn't going the way I want it to go, or my day isn't going to go the way I want it to go, or my test isn't going to go the way I want it to go, or not necessarily the way I want it to go, but the way I'm anticipating it to go. If I think that something is going to happen a certain way and that doesn't happen that way, that is very stressful. However, this is also something that can stress out, can be stressful, can stressful-flies. That's not a word, don't say that. Or you could say that and be as cool as me. No, but I really feel like I do understand the difference though. Like, the difference between the way that this kind of stuff stresses out somebody with introverted intuition and the way that somebody with extroverted intuition. I guess the reason I would be sad if all of my understanding was not correct isn't because I had latched onto a certain type and thought that it was better than another. Because to be honest, I have pretty low opinions. Wow. Pretty low opinions of INTJs. I mean, like, when I thought that I was an ENFP, I was like, I'm an ENFP, so my ideal friendship is with an INTJ, which I guess if I was an INTJ, then would it be with an ENFP? I don't know. That kind of stuff is crazy. And I know this for a fact because Dave and Shan have also done a video about dating and relationships and whatever, and it was like talking about the stuff that they're starting to see large scale about personality types and relationships, and basically the moral of the video was type doesn't matter. And that wasn't the entire moral. It's been a while since I've seen the video, but that was the gist of it. I don't know. Go watch it yourself. But there's a joke in there somewhere about me not having all of the information and telling somebody else to go find the information. So I don't know, you can find that joke wherever it is, wherever it might exist. You know, I have to say, my head has actually been in a really convenient location this whole entire time, because look, there's a pillow. Look how unpleasing that is to the eye cinematographically. And then same thing. If I was over here, my face would be covered up by the little red. You will not be able to see this when you watch the video, but the little red recording. It's like the little red square. I don't know why I'm describing it to you. I think, and I'm not going to put an OP term to this. I'm just going to describe what I'm doing. I am not going to try to define what I'm doing, guys. I'm just going to give you, I really like defining what I'm doing, though. I like taking everything that I'm doing and bringing it back to its ultimate meaning. Do people say that and not really mean it? Like, do people say that and then they don't actually do it? I'm still trying to figure out the whole peacocking thing. Mostly I'm just trying to analyze myself and see if that's what I'm doing. So, like, if I say that this is what I like doing, does this mean it's not actually what I like doing? That's still very confusing for me. But the metaphor I was going to make was that I will just, like, randomly notice. Well, a lot of times I don't notice things. A lot of times people point things out to me, and it's incredibly embarrassing. I get made fun of, like, literally all the time for not noticing stuff. Like, legitimately, it's so bad. I am so unobservant. Sometimes I joke about it. It's not funny. It's just stupid. There's literally no reason why a human being should be this caught up, stuck in their own head, to the point where they literally don't realize, like, it's just I'm not looking for something new. I again realize that sounds stereotypically IJ, but bear with me here. I used to think that all I wanted to search out was new, and I still haven't even gone to the whole NINE comparison that I was going to make, that I've just kind of been dancing around this whole entire time. It's okay. It's fine. It's all good. Actually, one thing that I was thinking about doing at the very beginning of this video to get you guys to keep wanting to watch this video all the way through was I was going to offer to play my guitar at some point. And this would have actually worked if I had mentioned it right at the beginning. That way, because if you say that you're going to do something interesting and or scandalous at the very beginning of your video, but you don't tell people when it's going to happen, with high-speed scrubbing, when you're going along, you can't, like, see every single second of what happens. So if it's something that happens really quickly, then people are forced to watch your video all the way through. It's really clever. And if it's something that will, like, entice them, to watch your video all the way through. So I was thinking about doing, or just saying, like, I will play my guitar at some point. If you want to hear me sing a song very poorly, stay tuned and I will play my guitar for you. And then I was planning on not actually doing, this wasn't the thing that I was saying I was going to do that I was planning on not actually doing. And saying that I was planning on not actually doing, but then, at the same time, people not really knowing me as a person, not knowing if when I say I'm not going to do something, if I then end up going to do it, or if I say I'm not going to do it and then I go and do it. And so then again, that uncertainty would force people to watch the video all the way through if it was something that they were invested in. If I said that, like, at some point I was going to bring out a cute cat, I think I would get a lot of people. If I said at some point, there's a lot of things. Never mind. Okay, but I'm not going to play my guitar. I'm just bringing that up because I still haven't fully resolved that issue in my head. I think overall this video has been okay though. It's been a pretty accurate representation of me and my thought process, and the fact that I feel like I understand objective personality pretty well and understand my type, and me wanting to be the type that I think I am is because then it would, like, confirm all of my, like, new, updated understandings of things. So, you know, coming into this, I definitely thought that I was NEFE. So it would be absolutely hilarious, but not completely ridiculous if I ended up being NRFI. Or NIT. Or I suppose I might be SEFI. And I have really been trying. So I guess, if that is what happens, like, you know, if they're like, no, Cherie, you're an ESFJ. Like, I do trust that. I've been really, 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 really trying to put myself in censor shoes, feeler shoes, EJ shoes. And it doesn't seem like it's the right fit. But again, you know, they say no one ever knows themselves, so if I don't know myself, that's fine. So maybe I can just talk about these differences I'm seeing and not relate them back to me. So I can talk about the things that I'm doing without relating it to OP, and then I can talk about OP stuff without relating it to me, and then that way I can talk about both things that I want to talk about, and then it will be very obvious if the correlation is there or not, because the descriptions will be the same. So, actually, wow, that is what I should have done from the very beginning. Now that I am almost an hour in, that's what I realized I should have done. Wow. Okay. See, there's no way she can plan. Look, at the very end of her video, she's realizing something she could have done different. Man, if she was better at planning, she would have just planned this all out right from the beginning. Yeah, well, you know what, Bob? Not all of us can be as special as you. Some of us have set periods of time when we can film ourselves and we just sit down and start talking because we don't, I don't know, I don't think this is the kind of thing you should plan out in the SI, organizing the sensory world, way of planning, because the whole point is to get you going off on tangents. This whole entire video has just been me going off on tangents like a boss. So I take that back, Bob. You're not special. You're an idiot. You should ascend to this higher level of understanding that we really cool and important people have ascended to. Being unnecessarily mean to Bob. Are there any people named Bob in our Facebook group? There probably are. Wow, I'm really sorry. You know, there's like 1,000 people in our group. It probably would be impossible for me to pick a name that nobody else had. Cherie, I can make fun of myself. No one else has the same name as me. Fun fact, there are only 3 people in the United States with the name Cherie Minor. One is a doctor. One is a veterinarian or something, and the other one is me. I am not a doctor or a veterinarian. Veterinarian. Is it veterinarian or veterinarian? Veterinarian. 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 I'm not sure what it is. So yeah, I have about 10 minutes left before this has been an hour, and actually, no, I take that back. I'm not sure what time it is, but I think I actually need to end the video here because, yes, because I have somewhere to be in like 15 minutes. So, this has been good, I think, though. I think this has been a good video. I haven't gone to talk about all the stuff I want to talk about, but that's pretty typical for me, because there's a lot of stuff that you can pull in to that one topic. I do want to say okay, I still haven't gotten to say the quick thing I wanted to say about my idea about any, but I'll say it right here at the end. That way, chances are no one will actually hear about it, so it'll be great. But, it's like, it matters where you start, because as you're zooming out and backing up, I'm using my rocking chair as emphasis. All of that stuff is really just on that one topic. So all of the things that you're pulling in are things that you already know about things that have to do with the one thing that you started with. Things, ha ha ha. I didn't even get a chance to rant about all the stuff I hate. I guess I'll have to do that in my next video. That can just be a video about me ranting about stupid stuff that annoys me. People, it's like, people are people, you know? Everyone's bad, everyone's good, but things, people create stuff. Why are they not creating stuff more logically or helpfully? Like, I know that there are reasons sometimes for why people do things, but those reasons are bad, and those reasons need to change. Like, for instance, I know that people probably make chairs with lightweight legs because it's cheaper and more cost effective. But you know what isn't cheaper or more cost effective? When you make a chair with lightweight legs and then people stand up really quickly and the chair knocks over and breaks. That hasn't happened to me yet where the chair has broken, but it does happen to me all the time where I stand up from a chair and it knocks over and it's like, can I not move around in the real world without breaking something? Is that too much to ask for? Apparently it is. I have to contortion myself. At our desks, we have our chairs and the desk is right here. So when I want to I'm trying to push the chair back, you know, if I just stand up like that, it falls over. And I can't do that sliding my chair forward like a freaking idiot. And now my head isn't in the, no, that's where it's almost been. Yeah, it's really annoying. No one else seems to get this, but it's very irritating, the fact that chairs fall over when I stand up. Okay. Really quick, thing about any before I leave. The thing is that any is microscopic. Which seems like it wouldn't make sense, but I think it does make sense. Because it does not matter where you start, because you're just expanding everything. Oh, yes, and this does work, because if you're looking at it from like a physicist biology, this is such a good metaphor. I really think this metaphor is accurate, and a good one. I'm pretty pleased with it. Basically, you look at things from a biology perspective, right? Everything is made up of matter, so everything is everything in a way, which then would explain extroverted intuition. When you are microscoping things, I'm not sure what the actual verb is, but I don't have a lot of time, so we're just going to go with this. You're microscoping things, you're making things bigger, and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Eventually you get down to the most essential elements, which are within anything. And I theorize that this must be what it is like for extroverted intuition. It's like everything is everything. Again, I don't even know how to do this. Now that I've identified it, with my mom and I, the difference is very apparent. The fact that they see one thing, and then that makes them just think of a completely another thing that's totally unrelated. I used to think that I do this, but it isn't. What I'm doing is I'm specifically pulling in stuff that further builds upon the one spot that I've started at. It's like a triangle going this way. Like I'm going here. Whereas with the NE, it's like you're starting here and then to do it the same. Right? So you're microscoping things, making them bigger. I don't have a lot of time. And that's how I think their brains work. For them, everything is connected. So what, I'm going to try and think of some really random thing as an example. Like, what flip-flops and the Appalachian Mountains have to do with each other? I have absolutely no idea. But somehow, to an NE person, those things are connected because I guess maybe like if you think about it, we're all flip-flops in the Appalachian Mountains. I'm not entirely sure how they're doing this, but I think that is a good way to think about it. It's purely on the intuition spectrum. Sensing, I have no idea. Sensing, I just fight with the world and it fights back. I really don't have a lot of time. I have so many more things I want to say. I think I can make another video, and that'll be good. And maybe at that video, I will start off right at the beginning, saying, hey, stick around for this video. If you do, some random cool surprise will happen right at the middle. Maybe, you know, someone will come in and, like, spray whipped cream in my face or something. But you don't know when that's going to happen, and it's going to be an event that's so quickly that you're not going to be able to speed ahead to just find that event and then leave. You'll have to watch the video through the entire way through. Which, to be honest, is probably only the sort of thing that maybe would keep me interested in a video. And it would have to be the sort of thing I was invested in seeing happen to that person. So maybe other people don't need that kind of encouragement to stick with something. They're just interested in taking in the new info. You know, it's weird because I used to think that's all I cared about was consume. Like I literally have made watched the videos, the INTJs and the INFJs. Literally thought in my head, wow, they're so dumb. Like why can't they just consume? Why can't they just take in new stuff like the rest of us? Like we're all out here, you know, being smart, and they're just over there stuck in their little box doing their thing. They're not really in touch with the real world. I am not in touch with the real world. Oh, wait. That has nothing to do with what I was just saying. Those things are completely, I am just describing the way that I am. I am not trying to say that that is a certain type that I am. Okay? So, if you want to connect those two together, you can. Or, you can just not connect those two together and think that I am... I have a feeling that, well, I don't know. What I would like to see is a whole bunch of, I'm not sure if this exists or not, a whole bunch of NEs thinking that they were NIs, a whole bunch of NIs thinking they were NEs. Doesn't seem like that's usually what it is, though. It seems like it's usually the couple of NIs I've seen thinking that they're like some sort of extroverted decider. Not all of them, but like you see the INTJs thinking that they're ENTJs. Whereas I have seen, or I've heard of at least a couple officially typed extroverted intuitives that thought that they were NI saviors. So I wouldn't be surprised if after watching this video, my prediction is I'm going to get a lot of type guesses for FE, just because I'm a girl and I'm nice, so automatically that means I have FE. And I'm probably going to get lots of predictions for NE. Because what I'm doing, like I said, originally I thought that this was NE too. What I'm doing seems like I'm jumping from topic to topic, which I'm not. Like this has all just been me going backwards. The problem is when you're going backwards, you see stuff that you passed, and so then you have to go and get that and bring it in, and then after you've talked about that for a couple minutes, then you have to then you talk about the thing you were talking about to get over first. So, I think I'm going to end this right at a minute. So, in that case, I'm not going to do that. That seems like a terrible way to say goodbye. I do need to end this like right now though. So, thank you for watching if you're still here. Honestly, yes, thank you. Like, that is some serious... I guess I am always thanking people for things that I don't want to do myself. It's actually a very smart way to do things because people feel good then for doing the thing, and then they do the thing more, and then that means you don't have to do the thing, whatever it is. So if I thank people for watching a video of me, maybe it will motivate them to watch more videos, and then I can just go off the information that the smallish amounts of information that they give about someone's video instead of actually having to watch the video myself, which is very nice. So, yes, thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate it. I guess I don't particularly care if you watch the video all the way through, as long as you just have interesting discussion to facilitate. Hopefully this was thought-provoking. I have not talked about a single one of the questions. I've literally just rambled on about myself and personality typing and making sure to get all my definitions correct. So yeah, I would say overall pretty successful hour spent. So yes, I think at this point I'm now going to say goodbye. I guess until next time, I will have to film another video of myself, so we'll see. This is a really long, I can't imagine spending an hour watching a video of someone talking about themselves, so. However, I am probably going to enjoy going back and watching this video at a later date. Watching myself talk is absolutely hilarious. It's the funniest thing in the world. So, with that, I did end up playing guitar, sorry. Yep, I guess that's it. Thank you, and goodbye.